the trades, they don't just give you a job. They change the kind of man that you're going to become. And it's one of those, if you stick with it long enough, you you don't even recognize you don't recognize who you used to be. That's one of the cool parts about working skilled jobs is it changes you. Some ways you weren't always some ways that you weren't always expecting it to, but truth is it does. Cuz I remember back when I was getting into this, and it was definitely taking a leap of faith as far as, do I want to do this? Is this going to work out? Is this for me? And it when you start, there's a lot of things you don't know. Like, you don't know the tools you're going to be using. You don't know the people you're about to go work with. You honestly, you really don't know a whole lot of anything. But that's kind of the good part. You're starting with a clean slate that it gives you room to grow. It gives you the foundation and the building blocks to grow into this. You're tired a lot. You're getting corrected all day, and honestly, you're always feeling like you're a little bit behind. You're behind the curve as far as knowing what's going on, and in the day to day. And what makes it difficult is not everybody's stopping to go at your pace. They're staying at their pace because the job has to get done. So you need to keep up with them. But there's a shift that happens. There's a change. As you get the cuts, the calluses, and all the bruises that come with the physical labor, it slowly, one by one, starts to change you. And when you're in that type of environment, it forces you to figure it out. To It forces you to figure it out. There's not a whole lot of room to stay in the back and watch. You need to get in there, and they're not going to let you stay in the background. They're bringing you in like, hey man, we got to get this and we got to get it done now. So I mean, as you're going through this, it's kind of like rolling with the punches, and as you keep doing that, you start learning more about who you are. Not just who you are at work, but who you are down in your core. And that's where you start to get this identity shift. When you're figuring out who you are, your identity, you start learning what a real man is. And before long, you'll be able to spot this very easily. But I have a couple of notes here that I wrote down to explain the best way I can of what a real man is. Being a man isn't just about how loud you are, or how tough you look, or how much stuff that you own. It's about what you carry. It's how you carry it. Being a man is, you show up when it's hard, especially when nobody's watching. You take responsibility for stuff when it's not even fully your fault. You protect what matters. Your family, your word, your purpose. You stay steady when everything around you is complete chaos. You build. And you don't just build things, but you build people. You build opportunities, and you build a life that's worth living. A man doesn't run from pressure. He becomes the ones that others lean on. A man doesn't wait to feel ready. He moves anyway. A man doesn't need all of the recognition because his results, it they speak for themselves. And it's really quite simple. Do what you said you're going to do. Take care of your people. Handle your business. And don't quit when it gets heavy, because it's going to. But that's the standard. That's the standard of being a good, true, honest man. And that's something that you find in yourself working with your hands. You really figure out what kind of man you are. And the part that people don't always realize is the trades, they build things in you that doesn't even have anything to do with the actual work itself. They build your character, how you handle problems, how you treat people, and how you work with others when you don't always agree with them, which there you run into that too. But this is where the real growth is happening. And it rolls into accountability. If something breaks, you don't blame someone else. You don't write an email about how it wasn't your fault. You just fix it. You own the wins, but you also need to own the losses. You can't always have the ups. There's going to be downs that go with this. And when you say you're going to do something, follow through with it every single time to the best of your ability. That's so important. So important. And if you do this consistently and all the time, it's it builds a habit where you're not even thinking, "Hey, I need to do this." This is it. All of that thinking goes completely out the window, and you just do it. It would feel wrong to not be this way, because things they don't always go exactly how they were supposed to. Stuff happens. Prints are wrong. Machines are built in 1926, and they ain't they're not always working the way that you were hoping they would. Parts are missing. But at the end of the day, you still figure out how to move forward and how to keep things working, how to fix the problems that nobody else could. And you do this long enough, and it starts to build something else inside you. It's called resilience, where nothing's going to beat you down. No matter what it is, you're going to figure out how to overcome it. Because there's going to be days you're tired, you've worked some long hours, and you don't always have everything that you need to solve the problem, but the job still has to get done. And there's people that are counting on you to do this. But they're counting on you to do this because they know that you can handle it. That's the biggest difference. And as people start relying on you to do more, something else starts building up inside you, and that's called confidence. And once your confidence starts being built, it's almost like you start walking different. When you walk in the room, people know. People know, like, this is the guy. You're not loud, you're not being arrogant, just steady. You're consistent because you have built these habits over time of always doing the right thing, even when it's not the easy thing to do. That's what people can feel when you walk in the room. And I think that's what a lot of people are honestly they're missing right now. Because it's not about chasing some perfect life. It's about being someone who can handle real life. That sense of purpose, the knowing that you're needed, the the knowing that you bring value. That's what's missing. When you work with your hands, things they don't scare you anymore the same way that they used to. When something breaks in your home, you fix it because you know how. Even if you've never done it before, you have the problem solving skills that you've built up. You have the confidence that you're going to figure it out. Google is a great tool to learn new things. When stuff goes just complete chaos, full chaos mode, you don't panic. You stay steady and true through it because you became capable. You're capable of handling everything that life throws at you. And that's what I mean when I'm saying that the trades build better men. It's not being tougher than everyone. It's being the man who shows up, figures things out, and can always handle what's put in front of them. Because if you're thinking about getting into skilled work, just understand a couple things. It's not always the easiest thing to do. It takes a lot of courage, one, to try something new and to start fresh in something that you've never done before. But if you stick with it, it it's gonna give you something that so many people are missing right now. That sense of purpose, the confidence, the capability, and a life that you actually built. And that's worth it.